Enjala ebaluma kiki nga temuddamu bannammwe. Good morning. I am Wonders Ruth Mugisa. Yes, I'm Wonders Ruth Mugisa from UIP. Uganda Young Positives.
Good morning. My name is Melody Nakalans from Makerere University.
Good morning, everyone. I'm called Moshabe Jovita from Reach a Hand, Uganda.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kakuru Wilbrod, but I prefer being called Wills from Richie Hand, Uganda. Thank you very much.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Marvins Chikonyogo, aka King Maki, from Richard, Uganda.
Good morning, everyone. I'm called Shannon Chemtai from Richahan, Uganda.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chemtai Beverlyn Malinga, Richahan, Uganda.
Good morning. Yeah, my name is Ndugwa Joash from Richahan, Uganda.
Good morning to you all. My name is Nakalema Immaculate from Richahan, Uganda.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Bill Calvin from Richahan, Uganda.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chantal Abdallah from Uganda Cares.
Good morning, everyone. Praise the living God. My name is Kwagala Cecilia, Uganda Cares, St. Bali Kudembe, Central Region.
Good morning, everyone. Masilisa Tendo Richahan, Uganda.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Patience Kabugana Lukenge from Richahan, Uganda.
Hi. Hello. Hi. Where's the energy? Are you fine? I'm so happy to see you all, and you all look amazing, and I'm excited for the conversations we're going to have in here today. I'm called Mwanaisha Musa. Call me Musa. It's easier. I work with Richahan Uganda as a communications officer, and I'm so happy to have all of you here.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Naukela Dorin from Moa. Naukela Dorin.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lucky Arinda from Uganda Cares. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Honorable Lucky is the only one who understood the assignment from Uganda Cares. Everyone here is on the same line. You've not? Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. I thought you were the media, but it's okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marco Hassan from Richahan, Uganda.
Good morning, everyone. All of you are mentioning organizations. Okay, my name is Nareso Victoria, aka Victoria Katamba. I'm a SRHR advocate. I use my Twitter. Don't have organization yet.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Semaganda Bruno. I prefer call me Bruno K. the Goodrich. Yeah. You can call me Bruno K. or the Goodrich. Yeah. On these two names, you can choose one name, eh? Bruno K. or the Goodrich. I'm from Uganda Cares. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Juma Safari. I work with Richahan Uganda.
Speaker, a deputy speaker, the clerk, and sergeant at arms. And these are going to come from us here right now. So we are going to have voting sessions where we select the most capable, the most, empowered young person who can man this session. Yesterday we had a demonstration, and I would like to repeat that The ones that were speaker yesterday may not be the speakers for today if they are knocked off by the election, but may go through if you guys, like vote them. But I request that we be very, very keen on the people that we are going to select for these positions. Yes, so as we get into the session, I'm going to have a co-moderator, and that is Musa. We are going to get to the election part, but before we do that, I would like to distribute the roles of the clerk, the sergeant at arms, speaker. So they will just pass around the table. So you can just pick a paper and pass on. Well, if you have interest really in standing for these positions, but we request that we all have an understanding of what, these people do. So let the papers move back side, this side. So again, in this room, we are no longer AHF Uganda Cares, we are no longer Richer Hand, we are no longer Makerere University, we are legislators, and we are all going to be in the same house. So we shall not say that Richer Hand is the opposition and AHF is the ruling party. No, we are all going to be parliamentarians, and this is the time where we choose the side for. Yes, please. Okay. Okay, so they are going to bring more papers for the speaker role so that we can be able to understand what is expected. So our media team, we are very glad to have you. This is the moment where we, broadcast this very wonderful session. We shall be having the State Minister for Children and Youth, that is Honorable Sarah Mateke, joining us in the audience. We are also going to have the Chairperson National Youth Council, Jacob Beyeru, also coming in, and youth parliamentarians that are going to be with us here. So the audience is going to be anyone with speakers roles, you can hand it to us and we do more photocopies. Yes. You can hand us one and we just do more photocopies. But I mean, are we all only choosing? I'm not seeing someone saying, we want clerk. No one is after clerk. We all want to be speakers. Okay. So yes, we also have registration lists that are moving around for us to register our names. Has the form already started moving? Okay. So we'd like to know who you are, where you're from, and yes, so that we can have a meaningful session. So let me just take us through the objectives of the event as we are reading that very briefly. Yeah, I started with that. It's 16th. I don't know whether they were paying attention. All right, cool. Okay, so the objectives of this youth parliament are as follows. Number one, to raise awareness about the importance of appropriate sexuality education for young people in Uganda. So as we are discussing, we want that as young people we bring out very clearly why as young people of Uganda we need sexuality education to be enforced and integrated into our school system. So that is one of the objectives. The second one is to create a platform for young people to engage in dialogue with policymakers, educators, and healthcare providers on the topic of sexuality education. And I believe all of us here, we request that we're able to participate, speak, and engage with, the parliamentarians even as they join us. So that's one of the objectives, for us to learn how to engage with these parliamentarians in a way that brings results for us. Thirdly, is to explore digital empowerment among youth to access accurate and reliable information on sexuality and reproductive health. I remember in a session with Juma Safari, we were raising that there are young people that do not have phones, that do not have smartphones. And how are we, bridging this digital divide and ensuring that even those young people are able to get this information. So that is also one thing we want to bring out. How can we bridge that digital divide? What do we want to be seen differently from our parliamentarians in our session? And then fourthly, to develop recommendations for policymakers and stakeholders on strategies to improve access to safe sexuality education through digital platforms. I know many of us are tech savvy and have phones and, are good at this, but how can we extend these services to other young people? And when we're having these sessions, what recommendations are we going to give to our policymakers, our guests that are coming, the state minister? What do you want them to do after this session is over? That is what is going to make sense. The actionable points that we give to the parliamentarians as they are here, as take-home points for them, so that we can influence, legislation through our session today. So we look forward to this being a power-packed session where, as young people, we speak our mind, we speak our truth to the power that is going to be with us. We already appreciate what we saw yesterday. That was very strong. So we look forward to having even a much better session today. So I would like to hand over to Musa as we, as you prepare for the voting. We're also going to have, she has something special for us, so let us follow through.
Hi. Hello. Hi. Where is the honorables? Oh, that's how people be in parliament, without energy. Well, our parliament is going to be different. And once again, you can call me Musa as I introduced myself earlier, and I'm happy to be here with all of you. I come with goodies. Who wants goodies? Who wants goodies? Everyone? Well, they don't come for free. Imogen was speaking and he said some things that I need you to repeat for me because I had stepped out. So those who will repeat the stuff to me are the ones who will get some of my goodies. So I have two questions. When is the Day of the African Child celebrated? All right, we have two hands. Yes, you could just loudly give your answer. On the 16th? Yes?
On the 16th of June.
16th of June?
Yeah.
There's another answer? 16th of June? Another?
Yeah, it's 16th of June.
Do we all agree 16th of June? Yes. We all agree? Neighbor na mwe. Eh? Venaba tuwe. All right, that is correct. Thank you. Please send Ruth her tag. Please remind me your name.
Tag.
No, people are not sending. Transport. I'm saying traffic. All right, thank you. Now we are switching it up a little. I think I'm giving you easy questions. Am I not giving easy questions? So now, the next question. The first two people who put up their hands are the ones who are getting my prize. What is the theme of this mock parliament? Chichi, emikono jizitoye. Muja. Yes? Yes, I see a hand. I see a hand. Yes, honorables. I see a hand. Don't Google. I see someone checking ChatGPT. Guys, don't Google. Let me start with the very first hand in the room. Please tell us your name.
Okay, my name is Melody Nakalan. So the theme for this mock parliament is comprehensive sexuality education through digital empowerment.
All right, thank you. There's another hand behind. Yes. Thank you, Melody.
It is comprehensive sexuality education access through digital empowerment.
It is?
Comprehensive sexuality education access through digital empowerment.
Thank you. Thank you, Immaculate. Anyone else? Yes, there's a hand here.
Once again, I'm Lucky Arinda. The theme of this mock parliament is access to sexuality education through digital empowerment.
Huh? Where? Show me. You know? Like, I'm trying to see. You know the teacher doesn't know and you're reading something on the blackboard. Okay, Will. Will is the last one and then...
So, the theme today is access through digital empowerment. Should I pardon? It is. Okay. The theme today is comprehensive sexuality education, access through digital empowerment.
Well, Will has showed me where you guys were reading from. Man. Huh? Okay. All of you, you know, in adult education, everyone is right. Because, I mean, we all look at things differently. And you are almost there. You are almost there. You just forgot 2 words. 2 words. Just 2 words. And they're in this room. Just 2 words. Who wants to give me those 2 words?
The theme of the day today is
2 words.
switch up.
Exactly. Switch up. Switch. We are switching things up, right? We are saying young people love the digital. Hey, let me first reward people before I go into. Yeah, please. So who are we rewarding? Because all of you cheated. All of you cheated. I give to her. We are all accepting. No. Please remind us your name.
No, Doreen.
We give to Doreen. Yeah. We all agree. Yeah. Why are people? Some people are like this. Like you're silently saying no. All right, Doreen. So who do we give this to? Well, I'm going to give the first three people. Immaculate also gave an accurate answer. Just behind there. Where's the other bandana? I thought I had like. Give you a tap. Yes. All right. Wills, no. You are the 4th, and I literally saw you reading, bro. All right, amazing. So, do we all understand the theme? I don't want us to just see how you see boring themes. That is the theme of the day. I need you to understand what this theme is saying. This theme is saying that we are pushing for comprehensive sexuality education, access to services, to goods, to rights for young people. But what are we using? Because you love it, right? And because everyone is using it, right? And because we want to also push Uganda into the digital era that is taking over the whole world, right? Basically, that's what we are meaning. Do you understand the theme? Amazing. So basically, that's what we are here for. Yes? And as you're here, please ensure that your voices are heard out there. Okay? Ensure that you tag your friends. Ensure that you tag the ministries. Ensure that you use the hashtags for today. Ensure people see you on Twitter. That today you're not just any young person. You're a parliamentarian. Yes? That today you're going to be a parliamentarian, you're going to make decisions, and you're going to make a better world, a better Uganda for everyone, okay? And that is why we are here, all right? So spread the news. Now we go to voting. How are we going to vote? We shall vote. We'll do ballots. First, they go out, or we want them to hear and see the people. No. They look into your eyes like this. All right, let's do the nominations. Okay? Yeah. So there are 3 roles, right? Yes. There is speaker, there's deputy speaker, and sergeant at arms. Together with the clerk. Do you guys know what these people do? Before you just go for a fancy role. You don't know what they do, right? Who wants to read for us what the speaker does? Okay, summarize. Don't read the whole paper. Ngabi inji. Kati mujukira summary. In senior 4. Gwenjagala. Summarize the roles of the speaker. Please tell us your name too.
Thank you so much. Once again, I am Lucky Arinda. And I'm going to read the roles of the speaker. Presiding over parliamentary sessions, managing debates and discussions, interpreting and enforcement of parliamentary rules, representing the parliament, chairing the House of Commons, acting as a neutral arbiter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, there's a hand here.
Thank you. Nwagaba Stewart is my name. To summarize the roles of the Speaker, I will say the Speaker presides over the parliamentary sessions or the House, because the other laws fall under that major law. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stuart, and please remind me your name. Lucky, that's such a beautiful name. All right, thank you, Stuart and Lucky. Mubitegede. Everyone understands English, right? If you do not understand, this is a free space. This is a what? This is a what? This is a what?
Free space.
Free space means what? It's a safe. So no? No English? No. No judgment. No what? No English. Okay. I think we can mix, right?
Yes.
We can mix. I mean, you can speak with your local language if that is the best way you can express yourself, right? Right?
Right.
Right. The same way some people are not understanding English.
But for the majority,
Don't understand. Look. Yes, but what we are saying, express yourself to your best self, yes? And we shall translate. Me, I will translate. I know like 7 languages. I think I know most of your languages. So don't worry, I'll be able to translate most of the languages, okay? But express yourself in your best way, yeah?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Speakers' roles are done. We have the clerk. Who wants to go? Anybody wants to take us through the roles of the clerk? I have a paper here, so I just need someone. Please tell us your name.
Good morning. My name is Faith. The roles of the clerk in a parliament, I'm going to summarize them. 1, administrative support. 2, parliamentary procedure. 3, record keeping. 4, research and analysis. 5, legislative drafting. 6, procedural advice. And then the 7th one, which is the last on this paper, is committee support.
All right. Thank you so much. Now that we know those roles, who has a paper for Sergeant of Arms? All right, let me have a backbencher. Do you guys have a microphone? I saw a hand in the back. But we are backbenchers. All right, thank you. Quickly, and we start nomination.
I'm Marian Jessica. I'm going to highlight to you the roles of the Sergeant at Arms. Order and security, ceremonial duties, ceremonial duties, administration, protocol and equity, security of members, parliamentary staff.
Thank you so much. Please remind me your name. Maria. Jessica. Thank you so much, Jessica. You've had the roles, right? Yeah. Also, could we have the bags off the tables such that our pictures look really nice and not have a clumpy table? Eh? Today we're in the parliament, guys, so act as honorables. Do you see bags? All right. Now let's start with the nominations. We are starting with the speaker. Okay, we shall have people. Yes? You can nominate yourself. Yes, but yes, Ruth. Guys,
Hello.
order.
So I thought we should have a deputy speaker. I've not had any roles being read out.
We are going to have a deputy speaker. I said earlier, the roles of the speaker are just deputized, so we don't have to read. You get it? But we have a deputy speaker, right? Yes. People. So we can have you nominate yourself, and we can have the house nominate you. But also, if you do not want, you can tell us, I do not want. Not getting there and you be annoyed because they forced you. All right? So, those nominating themselves for speaker, Muliwa. We have Wills, 1. We have Immaculate. We have, remind me your name. We have Lucky. Your name, please. Sissy, we have Sissy. We have Stewart. We have Lucky. That's. Are you putting up your hand for yourself, Hilary? So you have Ndugua's hand. If you, yes, let us have the speaker stand up. Eh? Where is Ndugua? Josh didn't tell me his local name. He has been using his celebrity name, so I didn't know he's Ndugua. All right, that's done. Nominations are done. Yes? Do you want your speakers to speak for you for like a minute? Yes. A minute? Yes. What do you want them to tell you? Anything. Convince you to vote them. Yes. All right. Quickly, guys. Quickly. Quickly, at the front where I am. Quickly. Under 60 seconds. Who wants to go first? Stuart. Okay, so we shall go in this order. All right. Under 60 seconds. Tell these people why they should vote you as a
Thank
speaker
you.
of this house.
Thank you. Once again, Stuart Nwagabi is my name. You would wish to know who is Stuart. Stuart is a human rights practitioner, currently doing his master's in Masters of Health Science by Ethics, Makerere University. He is a sexual reproductive and health rights facilitator, certified, a peer educator at Richer Hand. Have been privileged to attend parliamentary sessions 3 times. This is my 4th time, so I believe I have seen what happens in parliament. I have seen speakers doing their best, and I feel I can equally do more than them even. Thank you.
Thanks very much. God loves you. Before I go any further, we saw how the African child suffered, and I request you kindly a moment of silence for the suffered African. Amen. So, my name once again is Wills, and I'm a student of Bachelor's of Laws, a peer educator, and more so tonight I request you kindly to empower me so as I can become the speaker. Please, I can kneel for you. So I won't promise for heaven and earth, but then I hope for the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Once again, I am Lucky Arinda. Lucky Arinda is a fresh graduate from Makerere University Business School. I am so passionate about leadership, and I'm so passionate about lifting young people in leadership and a peer advocate. Well, I am honored to stand before these young people with great minds, the young people who have chosen to come and act as parliamentarians of today, the young people who have come here to represent young people in their different constituencies. Today, dear honorables, You're the voices of those people outside there who want to hear what you have for them. But the young people today, they lack one person, and that is the speaker. The speaker who would be able to set the rules of procedure in parliament. The speaker who will be able to lead this parliament and honorables. The speaker who will be able to to allow everyone speak, not to dictate in parliament. And the speaker will give all honorables chance to express their views and ideas. And dear ladies and gentlemen, the honorables of today, I would like to be that speaker. Thank you so much.
Good morning once again. The one standing before you is Kwagala Sise, offering a course of catering and hotel management, soon to be a chef. So passionate with leadership, so passionate with acting, so passionate with singing. So make me that one proud person, that one proud speaker that will push it out to the young people. You know, certain times when we are to get message, at times the young people, even that one ataina the smartphone, ajifuna through the music. So you can empower me to be the speaker of today. I love you all.
The manifesto. Good morning. So my name is Nakalema Immaculate, a peer educator with Richer Hand and a climate frisk facilitator. Zewamwe. So, Munange, unless you give me the opportunity, you won't see what I can do for you, right? So give me, but this manifesto, anyway, give me your vote such that you can see what I can really do for you as your speaker. Believe me, I'm so neutral.
Good morning once again. Yeah, my name is Ndugwa Joash, and I'm contesting to be your speaker tonight. So, me, I don't have much to say, however, I'm just going to tell you a simple story. Yeah? I love it. Whenever I go, I use this story. So, one day, 2 mice fell in a bucket of liquid. So, the first mice just gave up, drowned, and died. Then the second one fought and turned that liquid into butter. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the second mouse. Allow me. Yeah, so I'm the second mouse. The reason as why we are all here is because many would love to be part, but they did not. So you fought tooth and nail to see that you are here. That's why I'm saying you and I are the second mouse.
All right, thank you.
So
Thank you,
kindly.
Don't kneel, Joash. Thank you. Thank you. Baba Kakasiza? Yes? Now, I also need to tell you that from these amazing 6 speakers, we shall also get our deputy speaker. All right? Yeah. Now, please stand and face the other side, friends. Kekade. No. But you can. Bandi batunulide no batunulida. Quickly. No, they're not getting out of their room. Please face that side. There's pressure. Now what we are going to do, Imojilia is going to count the hands. Quickly. All right? And we're going to go in this order. All right? If you support someone and you want them to be the speaker of this house, just put up your hand. Don't put up 2 hands. Don't put up your hand 6 times. Everyone you put up, okay? Put up your hand once. If you're you guys voting is your right. So exercise your right. All right. If you are voting for Stewart right here, put up your hand.
Stewart, raise your hands very well.
Be confident.
Be confident. This is the last time you raise the hands very well.
I just see your friends. They shouldn't vote twice.
We are seeing
Today, democracy.
Okay,
All right. Thank you for Stuart. Wills.
Wills? Yeah.
Wills.
Wills?
Wills. All right.
Wills? Okay, one more. Wills? Okay.
All right. Thank you. Lucky. Lucky. All right.
Okay.
So Lucky, all right. Sise. Sise, don't clap, guys. Just put up your hand.
Sissy, one more. Sissy. Sissy.
Or, aren't you voting twice?
No voting twice.
All right. Okay. Guys, everyone is voting in the room. I'm seeing some people. All right. Joash.
Joash? Who is voting twice?
Ruth, what does your voting twice?
Okay. One more, Joash.
And finally, Immaculate.
Okay, Immaculate, one more.
Immaculate.
Put up your hands right.
Even the executives are voting.
Man, you say your whole CV had for just 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Thank you so much. Please take your seat. Oh, wait, do not take your seat. Let me announce the results before you take your seats. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Thank you, Ugandans, for exercising your duty to vote. Our speaker for this house, I will start with our deputy speaker. I reduced the speed. I let you breathe. The deputy speaker of this honorable house is Lucky. Thank you so much. The speaker of this honorable house is... How do they address speakers again? Honorable.
Right honorable. Right honorable speaker.
The right honorable speaker of this lovely house today is Immaculate. All right, thank you.
Like party before. Our men. We are now male advocates. Okay, thank you so much for exercising your democratic right. That was very good. Now we have the clerk and the sergeant at arms.
Two more posts. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone that stood up. You are very bold and you are brave. All right? It's not easy standing. They come back. Anyway, yeah, you can come back. You can come back. We need a sergeant at arms and a clerk. All right. Who wants to be our clerk for today? Yes, please nominate. You're nominating Wills as our clerk? Anyone? Any other nomination? Yes? You're nominating Maki? No! Wills? Let's not renominate, eh? Chantal? All right? May? You're nominating May? Sokna May? You've been nominated? Yes? Ndugwa? All right? Subuga Ibra? Subuga Ibra, do you accept to be a clerk? Not really. Thank you. Chantal, do you accept? Yes. So we have Chantal, we have Wills. You do not accept? Ndugwa, do you accept? Yes, of course. So we have Chantal and Ndugwa. We have closed nominations already. Then nominating you? So sorry. We're not hurting your feelings, so you're nominated. Please tell us your name. Unique. All right. So we have Unique, we have Chantal, and we have Ndugwa. We are voting where we are. All right? How many people are voting for Chantal as our clerk? Hands up. Everyone wants to see Chantal. Chantal, please stand up. Yeah, that's sweet Chantal. So, please write numbers. Stuart here is taking the numbers. So, how many people are voting for Chantal? How many people are voting for Unique? Unique. I like that. So we have 1, 2. How many people are voting for Ndugwa? All right. Congratulations. Ndugwa is our clerk. All right. Finally, Sergeant at Arms. So, you're nominating yourself, Hillary. Please, Hillary's neighbor. Remy and Hillary. Hillary. Ibrahim. Hillary. All right, nominations closed. So we have Hillary, we have Ibrahim, and Remy. How many people are voting for Remy? Remy, wave to your crowd. All right, please write there. All right. How many people? How many people are voting for Ibrahim? Ibra says, show him some tender love and care, friends. All right. And lastly, how many of us are voting for Hillary as the Sergeant at Arms? All right. Thank you. Congratulations. Hillary is our Sergeant at Arms. All right. Let us have our leaders come in front. Let us have our speaker, our deputy speaker, our Sergeant at Arms, and our clerk. And let us have the procession start. Imogen. Somebody get me Trevor. DJ, this was your time. Immaculate, Lucky, Joash. No speeches needed.
This is the moment where we hand the instruments of power to our newly elected Speaker and Deputy Speaker. As you can see, this is the person going to preside over the session today. Let's give a hand clap. She is the highest person in the room right now. Yes. Madam Speaker, we hope that you live to this legacy even after this. Okay. So you can now, maybe a photograph as they go. Okay. So you can take your seat, Speaker. And our Deputy Speaker, Sergeant at Arms and Clerk. All your seats are preserved in the front. There are 2 seats there. So this is the time, ladies and gentlemen, honorables, where now we proceed to our parliament. We are now parliamentarians from this session henceforth. And we request that we all abide by the rules that the Speaker is going to set for us. Rules in terms of speaking time, how long the session will go. We request that each of us identify a committee that we are all going to be a part of. We have the Education Committee, the Health Committee. So we are going to identify ourselves with those committees as we proceed with the parliament. So as you address, you're going to be coming from a committee. So from this moment, we are going to request one of us to set the motion, and then it's adopted, and then we can have the session proceed. Please feel free to share your ideas, personalize this, so that we have a very successful engagement. So without wasting any more time, I would like to hand the power to the speaker. You already have your very wonderful microphone, to chair and preside over the session as mandated by the Constitution. Thank you so much.
Are you ready? All right. Amazing. I've seen some people already making posts. That is very nice. But some of us are missing the hashtags for today. So let's use these hashtags so that we're able to see the work that you're doing and your tweet or your post doesn't get lost in there, yeah? So the hashtag for today is protect that child. We have IDSC 2023. They're actually there on that banner. So if you forget, you can just check. And then you can also use we are AHF, yeah? All right. Yes, Imoja.
Okay, so we are going to begin by the rules of the house. We are going to begin with our speaker swearing in, and then the deputy speaker. And for our case, we are going to have her say her words of oath, and then we proceed to the deputy speaker, and then they can move out so we can have our anthems sung, and then we majestically welcome them in. I welcome our speaker to swear her oath.
Hello. So by the oath, I swear as Honorable Immaculate to be your speaker, preside over the house, and have a successful debate.
I, Right Honorable Lucky Arinda, swear as a Deputy Speaker to abide the rules of procedure as a presiding officer to lead the House to a successful debate. So help me God.
We can now have our speaker and deputy speaker move out. And the clerk and the sergeant at arms, please. Let us stand up. So we are beginning with the East African anthem. DJ first pause a bit. Stand here, then we sing. Walk in, stand here, and we start. It is at this moment of time where we sing the East African anthem. Thank you so much. We can take our seats. Speaker, please address people as honorables. Thank you so much. Once again, welcome. This is the Youth Mock Parliament, an event that has been organized in commemoration of the Day of the African Child, where we honor the courage of the young people in Soweto, South Africa, that marched in defense of their rights on June 16th. You are hereby welcome to the start of this event, and we are all now parliamentarians in the House, with our Speaker as the presiding officer. With this, I hand over to the Speaker.
At this juncture, allow me identify my clerk, the clerk to Parliament, and Sergeant at Arms. Could you please stand up for recognition? Thank you. We are going to have the roll call, where the members of Parliament are going to present themselves, as well as the committee that they belong to today. So as you introduce yourself, you will tell us which committee you belong to, either the Education or the Health Committee. Allow me invite my clerk to help with the roll call, as well as the verification of presence. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning once again. Yeah. Good morning, my fellow honorables. Yeah, so we are going to introduce ourselves one by one. I will start with him.
Good morning once again.
Excuse me, Honorable. As we introduce ourselves, let's be mindful of time.
Thank you. Stuart Nwagab is my name once again. Health Committee.
Good morning. My name is Faith Ajaru, Health Committee. Faith Ajaru. Yes. Health.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Right Honorable Anu Odorin, Education Committee.
Good morning. I'm Honorable Mary, Health Committee.
Good morning once again. Honorable Abraham Sovuga, Education Committee.
Good morning once again. Honorable Kavumasaka, Education Committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Naturalness Laina, Education Committee.
Good morning, everyone. I am Jimbo Shanura, Education Committee.
Morning, everyone. I'm Marian Jessica, Education Committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Honorable Emily, Education Committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Honorable Amber, Education Committee.
Morning to everyone. Sovuga Chaus, Health Committee.
Good morning, everyone. Joseph Abubanks Mwebaz is my name, ex officio.
Right Honorable Speaker, Linda Joseph Robert is my name, ex officio.
Good morning, everyone. Galabs Fred, Education Committee.
I request that the honorables at the back please stand up. My height cannot allow me see you from that side. Please. You stand as you introduce yourself. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Semaganda Bruno, the Goodrich Education Committee.
My name is Narisa Victoria Education Committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm CJ Carlson, Mr. Available, Education Committee.
Hi, good morning. I'm May. I'm an intern with the Sauti Hub.
Which committee?
I don't know, health, education.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hassan, Honorable Hassan, and Health Committee.
Yes, I'm John Marvins, Chikonyogo, Richard Hand, Health Committee.
I'm Wills, Health Committee.
Moshawe Jovita, Health Committee.
I'm Melody, Education Committee.
Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ruth Wanders Mugisa, Health Committee.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable Namata Sheila, Unique, Education Committee.
Good morning, everyone. Nasa Michelle Mitch, Health Committee.
Good morning once again. Honorable Isaac Remy, Health Committee.
Good morning, everyone. Masilisa, Health Committee.
Good morning once again. Shannon Chemtai, Education Committee.
Good morning, Beverly Malinga, Health Education Committee.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Calvin, Education Committee.
Good morning, fellow honorables. My name is Chantal Abdallah, Health Committee.
Good morning, honorables. My name is Kwagala Sisi, Education Committee.
Good morning, everyone. Right Honorable Dida Jackson is my name. Girl Speaker, Gulu University, Education Committee.
Good morning, honorables. My name is Bridget Amtwenjire, Health Committee.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nauka Adorin, Education Committee.
Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Lilian Chihumuro, Education Committee.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joe Owori, Education Committee.
I'm a guest. Henry Magala is my name.
My name is James Tumsimi and I'm a guest.
Thank you. Morning to everyone. My name is Patience Nkunda, Kanungu District Woman MP. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Betty Ethonaliuma, the Publicity Secretary for the Uganda Parliamentary Forum for Children. It's great being here, and we are also part of the Youth Forum in Parliament, MP wa Kiso District.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Salongo Kakembo Mikairi Mbwatekamwa. I am a member of Parliament representing the people of Entebbe, including the President of this Republic, Honorable Speaker. I am a member of this forum and I'm happy to be part of this.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, I am Onekalit Dennis Amere, a member of Parliament representing Kitgum Municipality. I'm happy to be with you.
All right. Thank you, my fellow honorables. I think now we know each other, right? And the committees we belong to, right? Yeah. So I will hand over the mic to the speaker.
Thank you, our dear honorables, and at this juncture, allow me welcome the moderator to read for us the agenda for today.
Thank you so much. Greetings to honorables. You're very welcome. Our visitors, thank you so much for making it. Apologies for that. Welcome to all our honorables. At this moment, we are all legislators and we are all honorables in the parliament. I will quickly read the program for us. So we are now moving to inviting the guest from the AHF Africa Bureau, AHF Uganda Cares, and reach a hand to tell us about their interest in today's discussion. We shall have arraigned in this order Mr. Henry Magala, the Country Director, AHF Uganda Cares, Dr. Penny Lutung, the Africa Bureau Chief, AHF, Mr. James Tumusime, the Executive Director, Reach a Hand Uganda, and then next we shall have response time to the NGO's interests, 3 questions or comments, keynote address by the State Minister, Youth and Children's Affairs, and then we shall go to the debate of the motion. So that is the program that we are going to have. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
So, honorables present, do we approve of the proposed agenda? If there are any amendments that you would like to make, please inform me before we proceed. So we all approve of the agenda. And right now we have adopted to the agenda presented. Let us have the introduction and announcement of parliamentary committees and appointment of committee chairs and members. Well, the introductions have been made, and right now we are going to appoint the committee chairs, and the members are available, right? So we are going to appoint the committee chairs. The Committee for Health, anyone that would like to become the committee chair? Yes, Honorable. Please stand up for recognition.
On the committee you are present?
I'm representing healthy sector or healthy committee. Thank you. Stuart Nwagaba is my name.
Thank you, Honorable Stuart. And the Committee for Education? Yes, Honorable.
My name is Nakalanzi Melody. I'm representing the Education Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Melody. So we are going to invite the guest from AHF Africa Bureau, AHF Uganda Cares, Reach a Hand Uganda, to tell us about their interest in today's discussion. Allow me welcome Mr. Henry Magala, Country Director, AHF Uganda Cares.
Thank you so much. Our speaker, Henry Magala is my name, Country Program Director for AHF Uganda Cares. One of my interests is to welcome all of you, our parliament and our distinguished parliamentarian from the Uganda Parliament. I'll not take a lot of time, but to say that the reason HF is taking interest in this mock parliament debate is just to fan the power of the young people to move, to act on things that are not right. Certainly today, as our colleague has already said, we are here to commemorate the peaceful march, which was turned into a fatal one, when our young people in Soweto rose against what was unright. It was basically segregation. I think one of the factors was segregation in education. where it was not right. You know, the black were getting a different education from the whites. So it was not right. And so what did we see after that? We saw a movement that, you know, gave to a new South Africa. And then consequently after that, we have the rights of the young people beginning to be recognized. And another reason interest is that AHF Uganda Care is trying to fast track some of the UN Convention on the Rights of Children, and in particular the one that talks about the right to be informed. I think that is very critical, and we want to align it to this year's theme, that that empowerment of the young people through the digital environment. And so with this, we see that there is need for the young people to get, you know, the right information. We know that when you get the right information, especially about your sexuality, you'll be able to make the right decision regarding your health, and your well-being. So, however, as you get this information through the digital world that we have, we need to know that a lot of information is moving out and at a fast pace, and some of this information need to be, you know, analyzed. So perhaps as we look at the digital, you know, environment to be able to inform our decisions as regards to sexuality education, we need to be critical and ask ourselves, which information is this? And then also we need, since we know that a lot of information is on the web, we need to be prepared as young people. What information can we take on? What is appropriate to us and what is not appropriate, you know, to us? As I end, we are, as HF, we are recognizing that there's information gap as regards sexuality education. And the evidence is that all of us have been getting feedback that parents are busy, they don't have time to talk to their children about, you know, their sexuality, and others are shy to talk about it. And then also, every day I think all of us are hearing, you know, cases of rape, sexual gender, you know, violence all around. And that means that the young people may not have the information to protect themselves, or the public is not aware of the rights of the children to be. And also, when we look at the last information about HIV infection in the country, we get to know that 70% of the new infection is happening among the age group 15 to 24. Then also we have had that teenage pregnancy is very high. 24% of all, you know, deliveries that we register at our, you know, maternal health facilities are accounted for by teenagers. I can go on. So what does this mean? It means that the young people and even the public, the community is not, informed about how to handle sexuality of their children, of their brothers, and their, children. So this, I think, should intrigue us to see is it possible that if a lot of information, about sexuality education happens on the net, in the media, is it also possible that we can use the same digital empowerment to guide our learning about, sexuality education? So I think it will be interesting to hear about you who are affected as young people. What are your thoughts about that, and what's your experience? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Madam
you,
Speaker.
Mr. Henry. Let us have Dr. Penny Lutang from Africa Bureau Chief, AHF. Is he in the house? Mr. Clark, please.
Dr. Penny? Dr. Penny? Okay, Madam Speaker, we can go to the next person.
Okay, let us have Mr. James Tumasime from Richer Hand, Uganda.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Madam Speaker, members of Parliament. My name is James Tumsime, the Country Director of Richer Hand, Uganda. First and foremost, I'm glad that I'm here on behalf of Richer Hand, Uganda to present our interest in today's Parliament. I first associate with the interest presented by my brother, the Country Director of AHF, and want to only emphasize that whereas the young people in 1976 protested against inequality in education in South Africa, I think it is not so different today. We have to broaden the scope of education to attend to the issues that matter the most to the young people of today. Health, and specifically sexual and reproductive health, is a core concern. It is a key contributor to our development as a country. It has been presented very articulately in the Vision 2040. For us to have a productive population that will prosper our country, it has to be educated and skilled. Being educated and skilled also means that the population should be endeared to have more productive time. Productive time comes when you're working, you're not home taking care of children, you're not on the street looking for a job, you are actually working, and working in productive sectors. The digital world today presents the biggest opportunity for production, replacing many of the employment that we have known in the past. As the country grows towards digitalization with 26% internet reach, we need to look at how we make internet more accessible to all audiences of young people that are being skilled today across the country, in the different spheres. We need to protect the young people that are using the internet by making information that is available on the internet sieved to their rightful use. We need to protect against the predators that are making it very hard for young people to enjoy the internet and learn from it. We need in place legislation, but also practice. We need to have clarity on what should be taught to young people, and that can only be done if there is proper legislation, there are proper tools that we can use to teach about the issues that affect us the most. And it is my prayer that this House consciously considers the issues that are pending on sexuality education, the issues that are pending on access to internet, the issues that are pending on skilling, as we move to broaden the scope of education to make it more meaningful to the 21st century for our young people and our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. James Tumasime, the moderator, please let us know when Dr. Penny Lutang is in the house. Thank you. So right now we are going to have response time to the non-government organizations' interests. That's from you, the honorables. You can ask.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, before we proceed, Dr. Penny is in the house.
Okay, let us have Dr. Penny Lutang to give us her interest in today's discussion.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and all the young people here present, our partners from Richer Hand. I don't know if our partners from our members of parliament are here, but I'm here because I'm interested in young people. I'm interested in the youth. I'm interested in their well-being because they are the future for tomorrow. You know, they are our leaders for tomorrow. And if we empower them in each and every way, then I think we'll have better leaders in the future. So that's why I'm interested I'm present here, but I'm also interested in hearing what you have to say. it's imperative that as young people, we not only take care of your health and your well-being, but also ensure that, you know, we empower you to take the strides in the leadership front. It's a good thing that we want you to be healthy in you know, utilizing different, you know, by using different means. But more importantly, we want you to take the mantle of taking care of yourselves and leading in a direction that is fulfilling for you and empowers you as young people for the future. So I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Penny. Next on our agenda, we're going to have the response time to the non-government organizations' interests. That would be in form of questions or comments. That is to you, the House. Please use less than 2 minutes. Actually, less than 1 minute.
Okay, we shall welcome 3 questions or comments. Any question, any comment? My fellow honorables.
If there is none, we shall proceed. Yes, Honorable.
Kindly provide the mic. Your name, please.
My name is Honorable Jimbo Shanura from Uganda Cares, and my question goes to the non-government organizations in response to the girl child education. As per now, we have the national budget for 2023 to 2024, and the funds for girl child education have been deducted 39%. So as the non-government organizations who are aimed at making the girl child prosper in education and other aspects, what is the way forward since we have that as per now? Thank you.
Honorable Jumba. Any response?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Certainly, we look at the government as one of those that are supposed to look at the rights of children, and one of them is the right to education. In a situation where resources have been, you know, allocated and there's insufficient, you know, budget to respond, and instead of responding, there's a cut, then other means have to be looked into. So, yes, government is one of the sources that can support, but we can look at what are other avenues that can be, you know, looked at to ensure that that need is responded to. Certainly, civil society could be one of them, but also the community, the public, could be one of the areas to return to. Because in our setting, culture, the issue of helping community, those who are unable, is part of our culture. So I think when one way is blocked, we need to explore other ways of ensuring that that basic need is addressed. But where government says this is the envelope we have and we cannot have everything, you know, responded to, there's nothing that we can do other than looking at the alternative source. Thank you.
May I just add also that I think where there is a will, there is a way. And the fact that you've raised that as an issue, you see that's a big gap. It's a big gap for education of the young people and affects the girl child even more. I think the opportunities, the reason we have our parliamentarians here is that there is an opportunity to petition the Speaker of Parliament. So one of the reasons we have you here is to empower you. And I think if you take up the mantle to petition Parliament to reconsider the cuts that have been made to the budget and reprioritize those, the budgets to education, that's one of the you as advocates voices in this area, because education is very vital for the young people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable, are you satisfied? Thank you. Yes, Honorable.
Is your question?
Thank you very much, Honorable Nwagawa Stewart, once again. My question, I'm not yet informed whether we have some delegation from Ministry of ICT, but because we are discussing digital empowerment, I think they should be in position to be with us, because we have a lot of questions to them. Anyway, to run to my question, we recognize the role of digital spaces in ensuring access to comprehensive sexuality education, but then still we recognize the risks that come or that are associated with digital spaces. We can all agree that there are a lot of risks which are social, legal, and ethical implications. For example, how is the privacy of users of the online platforms maintained? What are safeguard measures that we are developing at Ministry of ICT as a line ministry to ensure that everyone that goes to internet to access sexuality education will get the right information to consume, other than just getting what is just shared and taking it. So we need to know the safeguard measures that are being developed by ministry. I thank you. I beg to submit.
Yes, thank you, Honorable. Before they give a response to that, I would love to inform you, Honorables, that please mind time. Be brief, okay? We have such a long agenda, we wouldn't love to sleep here. Thank you.
Response?
The appeal was, thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Speaker. The response, the question query was going to ICT. Do you have somebody? Yes.
My sergeant at arms is asking that the House settles.
Honorable members, at this particular time, I would like to recognize the presence of our Assistant Commissioner, Children and Youth. Yes. And our honorable parliamentarians who have joined us. I'm going to request that you briefly introduce yourselves and we can proceed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Maneno Zumra, Woman Member of Parliament of Bong District and a member of Youth Forum. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, the honorable members, my name is Achan Judith Peace. I'm the Woman Member of Parliament, Noya District, and a member of Youth Forum. Thank you.
Okay. So we are very glad that we have honorable members from the Youth Forum on the Parliament, and we look forward to really engaging. Thank you so much. Back to you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Trevor. Yes, we welcome our dear members of Parliament. Thank you for coming. And right about now, our State Minister for Youth and Children's Affairs is not around. We are going to go to the debate on the motion. And, oh, sorry.
Madam Speaker, before they are responding to our question here from Stuart.
Let me attempt to answer that question. It was directed to ICT, officials, but I also recognize that the Commissioner, Children and Youth could be able to respond to that. If you can repeat the question, but basically he wanted to know how safe the children are, protected when they access perhaps websites that have to do with sexuality education. But what I know before perhaps it comes in is that when you look at the comprehensive sexuality education as advanced by UNESCO, it has a component of computer. How can, the young people, age-appropriate, access information on the computer about the same, and how can they, be helped? That's a little in about that, but if it's possible that the Commissioner can have a response to that so that it's not left unanswered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and honorable members, both of this parliament and the other adult parliaments. I'm happy to address you on the issue of digital abuse, especially to do with abuses online, which is becoming a very prominent crime that we meet every day. There's a lot of sexual abuse online, and for that matter, the Ministry of Gender dedicated a line, 116, a toll-free helpline, on which we can report any kind of advances, whether you suspect, you have seen, or it has happened to you. You need to report. There is also the Computer Misuse Act. Rogers is of which year? Computer Misuse Act. I can't hear you. 2022. But there are also other attempts via the different acts, like the National Children's Act of 2016. There is also something mentioned within the National Youth Policy, all of them against the issue of accessing young people to information that is not age appropriate. All we are fighting is to ensure that the information you receive must be age appropriate and also appropriate the level of exposure that you have. And my colleague from ICT has mentioned that consistent with that, Minister of Education in 2018 came up with the sexuality education framework for the in-school as one of the ways through which we can guide sexuality education for the young people. The Minister of Gender is completing guidelines on sexuality education for the out of school. And so we believe that when we combine all these efforts, we should be able to address the issue of online abuse to our children. I also want to mention that this we can't manage alone. We need the cooperation of the children. We need the cooperation of the parents themselves. What are you exposing the children to? Is it age appropriate? Does your telephone, smartphone, have a pin, or the children know the pin? Because sometimes parents somewhere have relaxed, and yet they have a lot of things that children should not access. And so we want to work with the parents, strengthen the family unit to ensure that our children grow up in a manner that is friendly. I thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. So next on our agenda, we're having the debate on the motion. Allow me request one honorable to please move the motion or set the motion.
A volunteer?
Okay, members of parliament, allow me request Honorable Unique to please set the motion.
Honorable Unique, you're most welcome.
All right, thank you. I was kind of less prepared, but all right. Digital spaces to empowering young people against sexual exploitation.
Please.
I'd like to correct a motion. Thank you for the opportunity. Leveraging digital spaces to empower young people against sexual exploitation.
So thank you so much, Honorable. If we look at our order paper, do we all have it? Thank you. The motion has been stated or written. Has anyone seen it? Please set it for us if you've seen it.
Yes, Honorable John.
The motion is saying promoting access to sexuality education through promoting digital empowerment.
Thank you, Honorable Maki. So as he has stated, promoting access to sexuality education through digital empowerment. That's our motion today. And may we have the opening statement by the sponsor of the motion? Trevor.
Honorable Trevor.
Could you please come? Thank you, Honorable Trevor. Okay. So, the opening statement by the sponsor of the motion, I'll have all our three honorables saying something about it. That is Honorable Unique, plus the Honorable next to her, and Honorable Maki. Please use less than 2 minutes to speak something about the motion. Thank you. Let us have Honorable Maki first.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. As the motion goes, that promoting access to sexuality education through digital empowerment, and my fellow honorables, I would like to tell you that if we need to empower the youths, this is the time we have to use the digital forms, because if we look at statistics, more youths are using internet and social media and technology to access information. So this is the time we have to use the digital tools to empower the youths with the right information they need, not the information they don't need. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Maki. Yes, Honorable Unique.
Yes, thank you. To add on that, I think we are here to get our rights as young people, not only on social media, but to speak up for those who can't speak up, and also to look at this day, to speak up for our rights, especially when it comes to sexual education, because we've been really putting off eye about it.
Thank you.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Ruth Wonders is my name. I am following statistics. According to this motion, we see that 70% of young people in this Uganda, 15 to 24 years, are online, and basing on statistics, 10 to 14 years rely on not on internet, fear of being caught by their parents, and also pressure from other adults. 15 to 18 years rely on both peer and digital spaces on which they access some of these sexuality education things. And 19 to 24 years rely on both peer groups, these digital spaces, and they also acknowledge that online spaces ensure privacy and diversity of other information apart from sexuality education. So we see that we're leaving behind the 10 to 14 year young people. So we also need to inform them, because if we talk about sexuality education, it involves a lot of things, including body changes. So if a young person doesn't have access to such information, what can we do? They will fall into many traps. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Honorable. I would request a member of parliament from the Youth Forum to respond to that, please. Please, could you please rephrase?
Right, Honorable Speaker, it wasn't actually a question.
Yes,
it was
we
a
need a
statement.
compliment from them.
A compliment is?
From them.
Oh, from
so
them.
So rephrase, yes.
So we have ages of 10 to 14 years, of which I have stated that they do not rely on internet for fear of being judged by their parents and other adults. So what are we going to do when it comes to them? Because they also need the comprehensive sexuality education.
Thank you. I think I should stand up because I'm a little hidden. My name is Silas Augon, and a member of parliament from the Youth Forum, but I also represent the people of Kume municipality. To answer that question, my view is that we must endeavor to give material which is age appropriate. And I think that is the way to go. At a certain age, there is material that you should be able to access. Beyond a certain age, yes. Below a certain age, no. And I think that is the way to go. So that is what I thought, and my colleagues here will add.
Thank you, Honorable. And honorable colleagues who are present today, I'm glad to be here. I'm going to respond, I'm going to add on the information that when you are dealing with children or young teenagers, you have to be very careful and sensitive. We have to have what we call like parents' consent. Some parents will not be open to this digital sexual studies or information that you are willing to take on. So when we are dealing with young children, because these are young teenagers from 11 to 14, we have to see how we have to deal with teachers, parents, and their guardians. I think that is understandable, not so? For private purposes, confidentiality, and to avoid suing, some parents will run to court to sue their children being availed with this kind of information. That's why you see parents protect what their children can access on internet. And I think that's all. But I wanted to collect one thing as I give my sister a microphone. We are all honorables, as we have said. But you know, learning doesn't stop. I see you are addressing yourself as, I'm honorable so-and-so. No, you let someone address you as a honorable. You don't address yourself as a honorable. Thank you very much. It's on a lighter note, so that tomorrow you don't make a mistake. When you are somewhere, you don't address yourself, I'm Honorable Patience Nkunda. No. My name is Patience Nkunda. I represent this and this. I sit on the Committee of Health, Education, and on. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Patience.
To put it in perspective, Chan Judith Peace. I represent the people of Nuaya District. I sit in the Committee of COSASE and Foreign Affairs, and I'm a member of Youth Forum and so many forums in Parliament, including social protection, persons with disabilities, children's forum, so many malaria forum. We want to kick malaria out of Uganda. I don't know how to put it. I'm not the youth of yesterday. I'm not the youth of today, and I will not be the youth of tomorrow. But I am passionate to push youth issues. On issues of digital era, learning is continuous, as my colleague has just said. We, as members of parliament, we passed computer misuse law. But some criminals, I would say, went to court, and some of the act within it has been quashed off. So this would help us to deal with some of this sexual harassment, the abuse on social media, and the rest of it. So it's like a setback for us legislators. But on what she has just said, there are some other devices that has been loading unwanted educations. Because even some of the things that you learn in the devices, the phones, the smartphones, and the computers that you download, some of them are not wanted for that particular age. That's why some of the people who uses these devices with the Amazon, you have to seek for parents' consent before you can access as a child below 12, I think so, around there, below 12. I have my daughters who go online to learn, but I have to authorize with the password before they can access to make sure what they are accessing is actually appropriate for them, for their learning. And I have to approve which learning, because most of the time if they go on cartoons, these cartoons doesn't teach them English, mathematics, and other things. So these are the control measures that as members of parliament, we come for this sitting where we are today, that we develop what are the gaps, how can we handle. If there is any gaps, it is us, the members of parliament, to come out with appropriate policies, laws, those bills, the acts, the motions, the matters of national importance to help you cope up with this digital era. That's what I wanted to contribute. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, please, you can.
Thank you, honorable members. I wanted to add 2-3 things. One, since I came in, I've heard the use of the word comprehensive about 3 times. In Uganda, we don't use the word comprehensive sexuality education. We use sexuality education. And the reason is simple. We don't know what is embedded within the word comprehensive. How comprehensive is it? So for the government of Uganda, we stick to sexuality education for both the out of school and in the in school. And just to add on what members of parliament have said, I said earlier on that government, through Ministry of Education, in 2018, developed and launched, and we are disseminating, the sexuality education framework for the in-school. And so everybody within school must have access to sexuality education within the school environment. For those outside the school, they are going to be catered for by the sexuality education guidelines for those that are out of school. And those would be very good guidance for everybody seeking to access young people to information that is age appropriate, like Honorable has pointed out. The third that we are doing is to ensure that we make parents once again. Parents who are there for their children, who are not simply mothers and fathers, but parents who guide, parents who know what the children are doing. Children who sit with their parents and get instructions from their parents. And so we developed the parenting guidelines to help us make the fathers and mothers be parents. We are going ahead, and honorable members, we shall need your support in coming up with a family policy. A family policy is in offing, because we believe that almost everything we are talking about rotates around the family. If we make the family strong again, the family will help us raise children that are fundamentally entrenched within our cultural values, but also who understand what to do where and when. I thank you.
Thank you. So, before we proceed, there is a question here to the members of parliament in the house.
I request that the question waits. Thank
All
you.
right.
Before we proceed, allow me invite Honorable Jacob Oyeru, the chairperson Youth Forum, to speak to us. But as he comes, the debate is going to be open to you, members of parliament, the honorables that side. Please prepare to present your arguments. Put this in mind. This is a safe space. You're free to speak. Please be free. Present your queries, and the responses shall be given after. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. The members of Parliament present, I need to make clarification. I am not chairperson of the Youth Forum. I am chairperson of the National Youth Council. The chairperson of the Youth Forum is not here. Her name is Honorable Nyamutoro Fiona, and at an appropriate time she will meet you. Probably, I was just whispering to the coordinator that the next meeting should happen in Parliament, in the either chambers or in the conference room, and we can work together on that to make sure that happens. And you can even have more people who are in school. I know some of you might be out of school, some of you are in school, but would be glad to have all of you. Then we can have Parliament itself host you, and as much as feasible, the Speaker or the Deputy Speaker address you before you take on the speakership for a longer time. So we'll work on this together. That said, I want to first speak to what has been discussed. The question of 10 to 14. How I would address that matter is to ask you, where were you when you were 10? When I was 10, I was entering the third year of cognitive education. That is, third year of trying to understand. That's P3. P3, what we were learning was what is an isosceles triangle. Very basic ideas. When you abacus, someone has said abacus. When you move up to 14, for many of you, you were either in S1 or you were in P7. In that time, for a young lady, many of you have not seen your first cycle, or you are just experiencing. That's at the end of it. For the young men, at that time, we didn't even know what puberty was. So what we could learn at that time was supposed to be what we actually are supposed to learn. At 11, you cannot confuse the mind of a young child. That's not even a man, a young child with certain information. That's why Honorable Ogon spoke about age-appropriate education. I remember in P3, we gathered nearby here, and we signed something called True Love Waits. I did not understand the love, because I did not understand those things, but I understood the waiting. The waiting was to promote abstinence. So for me, the only sexuality education I would say for that age group is A, all of you abstain. Between the age of 10 to 11, by the time the girl is thinking about the cycle, she has understood what abstinence is. Or by the time she experiences her first cycle, she knows that I am abstaining. That's all we wanted to talk about, and that's what we learned. We began talking about any other matters later on after abstinence has run its course. And that is when you are now approaching 18, and there are issues disturbing you left, right, and center. We begin talking to you about other issues. But before that, you have no business learning about other issues. You should focus on the goal. And that goal was to abstain. That was very important. But sexuality education, I am told, it includes learning how to manage a cycle. So that one can come at around 14 when girls are experiencing 12 to 14. Girls have
their own sessions to learn about those things and begin to know how to deal with them. So I think legislation and policy around the age impact of growth for young ladies and young men would be very important. And I think I don't need to make any further statement. I have made a good one, I believe, on that issue. So I will engage more with you as time goes on. Let's listen more from the members of Parliament of the House today. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Jacob.
Thank you. Next on our agenda, we are having the supporting arguments by members of Parliament.
So the floor is open.
Yes, Honorable.
Excuse me for this. I would like to first ask Mr. Mondo, because we have been mixing up children and youth during this discussion. So I would like him to clearly set out who are the children, who are the youth, who are the young people. Secondly, this goes to Mr. Jacob Ayeru. When it comes to what you have discussed about, we are living in the 21st century, of which we know nowadays, even a nine-year-old goes into their menstruation periods. A 13-year-old can access family planning services. So what if it happens and this 9-year-old or 10-year, 11-year-old gets pregnant, of which we are avoiding and fighting against nowadays? What would you do? So don't you think the digital empowerment would be a good thing?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Sorry, thank you, Honorable. Hopefully they've noted them down and they'll give you a feedback later on. So, yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Stuart Nwagab is my name once again.
Before you proceed, please be mindful of time. My clock is ticking. At exactly 2 minutes, I'm going to cut you off. Thank you.
Thank you. So, to reiterate on what previous honorable speakers said, yes, digital empowerment is a good thing. But here, digital empowerment relate with what the previous speakers like Honorable Jacob said was, we need age-appropriate information to access. If an 11-year child is going to access information, let it be appropriate. She shouldn't access the information that is beyond her understanding, that will risk her into sexual behavior that she is not ready for. And that's why I was still asking about the safeguarding mechanisms that are in place, that we are sure that if this young girl gets a chance to land on her phone, the information that she will get when she runs online on TikTok won't be the information beyond her. Is information about body changes, is information about menstruation and how to manage it. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable. I request that as we start speaking, may you please state where you belong. Are you in support of the topic or the motion, or are you arguing against it? Thank you. Yes, Honorable.
Good afternoon. I'm called Ibrahim Subuga from southwestern Uganda, and I am supporting the motion that we have in the building today, which is CSE access through digital empowerment. First of all, I wanted to break down the two major words in our topic today, and that is CSE and digital empowerment. CSE and digital empowerment. I've managed to extract some definition of these two words according to my way of seeing the things, and there goes like CSE is an approach to sexual education that provides accurate, age-appropriate, and comprehensive information about human sexuality.
Honorable, I'm sorry for the interruption. But please, as we've been advised by the commissioner, let us avoid using the C. Could you please stick on the sexuality education?
Okay. Then about the digital empowerment. Digital empowerment refers to the process of providing individuals or communities with tools, resources, knowledge, and opportunity to effectively use digital empowerment technologies. So as we see, we are living in a generation of digital world, AI, and other virtual realities technology that is taking place in these ages of young people. So how are we going to put sexual education in line with digital empowerment, so that we can see that digital empowerment is putting up a high magnitude along the young people, since it has come to our notice that young people use digital spaces so much rather than anything. I think it's going to be the first generation of parents who don't watch news. We are the ones. We find news online everywhere. Anything happens in a world or country, it can be good in another. So was my points today. How are we going to use digital empowerment to amplify sexual education? First of all, young people from Southwestern, we wanted to urge the government or the member of parliament to create the online platforms and websites. These online platforms, they should be dedicated website or platforms that provide comprehensive and age-provided sexual education content. These platforms can offer interactive resources such as videos, facts, articles to address various aspects of sexual health and relationship. So, first of all, we also wanted to ensure that the information is accurate, inclusive, and culturally sensitive to avoid many misunderstandings between people, children, and the parents. Second of all, we are thinking about...
Honorable Speaker. Mr.
Yes.
Allow me cut you off, but I'm giving you just 1 minute.
I may be coming back later.
Summarize.
So we are also thinking about creating the mobile applications, develop mobile applications that offer interactive and engaging sexual education content. These apps can include features like quizzes, games, and progress tracking to enhance learning. So they can also provide a safe space for users to ask and receive personalized information. Thank you for now. That was my submission.
Thank you.
For today.
Thank you, Honorable. May we have one more Honorable to speak, then, sorry, 2 more. Then we shall have the responses from the members of parliament present. May I have Honorable Maki here? Then we shall have...
A very good morning, everyone. Once again, I'm John Marvins from the health sector, and I would like to pose this question to Honorable Mondo. We are talking about emotion here, saying that we have to promote access to sexuality education through digital empowerment. Mr. Mondo talked about the sexuality framework in schools, the 2018 framework, but the question is, how many people are accessing this framework? How many people in schools are getting the framework? Truth be told, my fellow members of parliament, the apps are there, the websites are there, but are the people getting them? Are the youths there getting them? Are the younger people accessing those apps and information they put on the websites? That's the question here, because we want to promote these apps. We want to promote these websites that have the right information. So my question is, how many young people are getting this information, Mr. Mondo? Yeah, that was my query. Thank you very much.
Hopefully Mr. Mondo is taking note. He's going to give you a feedback. May I have the lady honorable at the back, please.
A mic at the back. Wait, you can pass the mic.
Yes, good morning to you all. My name is Amber. I would like to disagree with the motion. I'm actually disagreeing with the motion of today, because when we say empowering, like a sex education through access to digital, through digital empowerment, we are forgetting our fellow youth in the rural areas. Let me give an example of teenage pregnancies in Uganda. Right now in Uganda, we're at a percent of teenage pregnancies, we're at a percent of 25%. Being fellow girls, and more especially 15%, they're from rural areas. And with that, we even have the youngest mother who conceived at 12. That is Mayanam Jumba in Kapisa village, Butaleja district. So definitely they don't have access to the internet to study, to get access of sexual education. So how are we going to help them? Because they can't access internet. They're in rural areas. Some of them literally don't even know what a phone is. They don't even have electricity in their areas. So I strongly disagree with the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Amber. Are you arguing with her? Yes, Honorable Inek.
About what she just said, those people in rural areas actually can make phone calls. So when we come back to being advocates, we sometimes call these people who don't have the internet. We talk to them about the things that they need to know, and sometimes we reach out to them in their rural areas.
Thank you, Honorable. May I have the Commissioner to please?
Right, Honorable Speaker. I don't want to impersonate. I'm not yet honorable. The honorable was at the other side. But inshallah, I might join them in 2026. We shall discuss. Don't tell my member of parliament. Don't wake him up. After all, you don't know him anyway. I want to respond to two things. One is the issue of the age. Who is a youth? Who is a child? A child, according to the Children's Act 2016, is anybody between the ages of 0 to below 18. Below 18 meaning 17 years, 0.9999. The moment you become 18, you are considered a youth. And the definition of a youth, according to the National Youth Council Statute of 1993, is anybody male or female between the ages of 18 and 50. But there are young people within the National Youth Council that Mr. that the chairman of the National Youth Council heads, who wants this stretched to 35 because they want to remain youth. And so it is sweet to be a youth. And so you people who are getting there, you have to use your youthfulness very usefully. Are we together? But also I want to let you know that there are some contradictions, that Uganda belongs to the African Union. The African Union defines a youth as somebody between 15 and 35. The East African Community as 15 to 35. Uganda also belongs to the UN fraternity, United Nations, and defines a youth as somebody between 15 and 24. We also belong to the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth defines a youth as somebody between 15 and 29. But also, you people, you come from different cultural or ethnic backgrounds. Again, the cultures, they have their definition of youth. But where you find that the definition according to culture contradicts the national definition, then the national constitutional definition takes precedence. But I know if there is anybody from Bugisu here, Is there a youth from Bugisu here? I don't see any. But in Bugisu, you remain a Musinde. A Musinde is a youth, somebody who is not yet experienced. You remain until you are circumcised. So that's another definition of who a youth is. For young people, it's a combination of who a child is and who a youth is. And for us, we normally use young people as all people below the age of 30. We call them young people. I wanted also to comment about rural area and access to internet. The data we have is that 40% of all children between the ages of 12 and 17 have access to internet, and they are using internet. But also there is a sizable number of children who have access to smartphones, either courtesy of their parents or courtesy of their sugar mummies. And I want to warn you, we know you boys and you girls, you have sugar mummies, you have sugar daddies, and they are accessing you to a lot of things. But I want to tell you, like the Briton would have said, there are no free dinners in the world. If you are accessing goodies from a sugar mummy or a sugar daddy, at the end of the day, you are going to pay. You will either pay through becoming pregnant, teenage pregnancy, and therefore dropping out of school. And I thought I would tell you that there is a time for everything. There is a time for you to go to school. There is a time for you to graduate from school. There is a time for you to work. There is a time for you to retire from work. And there is a time to get married. Mr. Jacobo Eyero didn't tell you that he's a Mugole. He just married a few weeks ago. And he waited. He waited. He's now happily, he can have all the sex he wants in the world because he's legally married. Are we together? So I want you to know also that the choices you make, not the chances you take, determine your destiny. But also to let you know that you are squarely in charge of your destiny. The parents can come in to push you, to help you, to touch here and there, but at the end of the day, you, children of Uganda, you are fully in charge of your destiny. And you must be serious about your books. You must also be inquisitive. This person who normally gives me free lifts, is he my dad? Is he my uncle? Is he what? You always want free lifts, and you enjoy chips and chicken. Chips and chicken is going to take you to hell. Yes, I'm telling you as an elder, I'm telling you. And so what government is doing is to increase the internet penetration to the rural areas, but also to ensure rural electrification. We hope that by 2015, that's the end of the National Development Plan 3, we should have covered a big part of this country with internet penetration. Because we learned the rude way during COVID that many of you had to be forced to do your learning through the internet. And so those who were in rural areas where there was no adequate internet penetration, there was a problem. And so government is aware of this, and we are doing everything possible to ensure internet penetration in the rural areas, but also to ensure that every rural area has access to electricity. The issue of the digital era cannot be put on hold. It can't. Everything has become digital. The doors, the windows, the money, the air ticket, everything you touch in developed countries is now digital. So we cannot remain behind, and we want the young people to be part of this digital migration, to enjoy it, but enjoy it in a manner that is not hazardous to their lives, that will not stop them from advancing in their education. That's all we are looking for. That's why for the members of parliament, as we already mentioned, they have been able to come up with the Anti-Pornography Act of 2014, which creates stiff penalties for depicting children in pornographic images. They came up with the Computer Misuse Amendment Act of 2022, which criminalizes unauthorized access to data and prohibits sharing of data relating children without authorization from their parents. But also we came up with the National Child Policy of 2020 and the Children's Amendment Act of 2016. All these are frameworks within which we should be able to plan better for our children. Madam Right Honorable Speaker, I submit.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Our members of Parliament present, do you have anything to supplement? Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I want to appreciate, first of all, the Commissioner, Mr. Mono Chitaka. I have known him for a long time. Madam Speaker, I am, first of all, privileged to be here. Sexuality education, if we are to handle it, thank you. May we welcome the Minister, Hamid Isas. Madam Speaker, I was in the verge of saying that if we are to handle sexuality education digital-wise, we need not also to forget the ordinary way that we have been handling with it. I am very happy that at long run, the Ministry of Education and Sports has decided to now bring sexuality education into syllabus. And this will help a lot. I want to begin by agreeing with my brother, the Honorable Cyrus, when he said that if we are to go with digital, then the messages should be coded according to the ages. If we don't do that, we are going to mess up a lot. I have got opportunity of being with the young people for a long time. Between the year 2010 as a Guild President at Makerere University, 2011 to 2012 as the National UNSA President, and also I work with my good senior, Mono Chitaka, and Minister of Gender, at YPSCE, Young People Self-Coordinating Entity, in the National HIV and AIDS Response in Uganda. There are a lot of things that we met on the ground, which are not being talked about. First of all, the messages are very, very key. Mr. Bondo, at times it beats our understanding as for why we are getting to relax on issues of HIV/AIDS. The messages are becoming so mild to an extent that people think AIDS is even cheaper than malaria. Why? Into guarding the kind of messages that we send out via the e-media, the social media, is quite necessary. Otherwise, we have a lot of things to do as leaders of this country. Lastly, to CARES, Uganda CARES. Sometimes back 10 years ago, we used to move to institutions of higher learning. And after talking to them, we would ask them if they have some secret message for us as student leaders. One thing we used to get was the fear of the young people who are infected with AIDS going to line up together with their parents to receive ARV. So they would tell us that we would be stigmatized, that you young girl, you young boy, how did you get it? I want to, if you could enlighten us a bit, thus Uganda CARES have a provision whereby these young people who are infected can be treated in isolation, in secrecy, to avoid stigmatization with their parents, with their uncles. It is quite important. The messages that AIDS kill must be propelled clearly. Otherwise, it is appearing as if many institutions actually want AIDS to be there so that they get donations. It's quite unfortunate. They are not ready to earn it. So thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, once again, I'm Beth Ethel Naluyema, the woman MP Wakiso. I'm both on this youth forum and I'm also the publicity secretary for the Children's Forum. So this is something so key for us. Madam Minister, we welcome you and together with your commissioner. Protocol once again observed. Getting back to the matter, we have learned and we continuously unlearn. We recall our role. For us as members of parliament, as MPs, wherever we come here, we link whatever is being said here to our roles. Recall we are representing you, we do oversight role, we legislate, and we also appropriate. Today it's the budget day. We once again wish to request the CSOs that have organized this. Are you looking at any legislation where we are having a gap? If you get to what has already been outlined, the different acts, add on the Data Protection and the Private Act 2019. Already the Computer Misuse Act has been talked about, 2011, and amended in 2022. When you look at the guidelines which we have for IT and also those of information security, talk about the laws and the regulations, everything. You've heard about the Youth Council Act, the Children's Act. Can we be helped more? Because our role is to look at where the gap is and see that we legislate better. So can we get those points where we are having gaps and we see that all is fixed, so that at the end of it all, we have a better Uganda. To our young people, there is no way you can ever think that the future is for your parents. The way we can use internet today, the way you decide to access, let's not deceive ourselves. You just put in Google, you will either access pornography or you will access information worth for your living. So decide today what kind of access you will have. Recall access, it's not for every Ugandan, given that the computer penetration is not yet 100%, and even the computer internet usage is not yet 100%. According to the latest data by UCC, we only have 30% of smartphone penetration in the country, and much as it's 69% mobile subscriptions as per 2021. So, implying that we are having a big number of young people in the country that are not fully using their internet or are not able to access. Now, for us who are here, even you are here, let's go back and see how best we can have good usage of our phones and to spread this sexuality education for the better of the country. Because as policymakers and lawmakers, we shall want to know where the gap is. If it means petition to the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, we are ready. The Youth Forum is here to go with you, and we shall really pioneer it. We also want to promise you that this moment, as we call the Day of the African Child, we shall not forget that they are the children who stood up for issues of children, and now the youths are here. We are together with the Youth Forum, and we are ready to go. We want to thank you once again for this moment. I thank you so much, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable. And right now, we are going to raise up.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Sorry, I'm encroaching on your time. I know you are already crossing over to the next item. Once again, my name is Silas Augon, the MP representing the people of Kumi Municipality. I consider myself a mature youth, and I'm happy. But still, I remain a young person, because whenever I go back to my village, my mother welcomes me back at home and she says, "Young man, you're welcome. Where are you coming from? My child." So I remain a young person every time, even when I reach 90. Yes. I am concerned about the digital agenda. You know, digital brings the world to us, but we have a responsibility to control our own digital agenda. What is it that we are doing with our phone, with the internet? For me, that is a very, very big thing. But away from that, I should tell this gathering, Right Honorable Speaker, that there is a lot of negative perception amongst the religious institutions and cultural institutions when we talk about sexuality education, even digitally. They will tell you no. And if as a country we want to deal with this, we must first have a proper and deep conversation with them to agree that this is the way to go. And we must design a proper package for them. Without doing that, it will be difficult for us to move forward. That one I have known. There have been several attempts, but the churches will rise up. The mosques will rise up, and they will say, no, this is wrong. So what are we going to do about it? It is a serious thing. 2, we are talking about the policies and laws. If we are not ready to fund for implementation of this digital empowerment, we should stop it. It becomes more dangerous, Right Honorable Speaker, than the benefits that we see accruing from it. I say so because we can say, now let us allow for this to go forward. We shall make a law. Then we make a law, but we don't implement the what? The law. It becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. So if we are ready, then as Uganda, we must be able to put our money there and make sure that experts like Mr. Mondo are there to guide the process. And we should be able to design the right messages to put in these phones. And when you give a young person a phone, a smartphone, if it's for sexuality education, let it be strictly for that. And the curriculum should be clear. What is it that is in that phone? Who is monitoring? Because I can tell you, when you go to the internet, you get everything in the world. Even when they are calling people's women or spoiling people, they spoil using the phone. Those days, the things used to be okay because it was hard for you to access what? Somebody. These days, the teacher can be lecturing from here, somebody is lecturing somebody's girlfriend. Yet they are even seated near each other, but they are using the phone. I love you, you ignore that man. And they are just there, seated next to each other. Right, Honorable Speaker? This is a very serious matter. So we can only go for these digital issues if we are ready. If we are not yet ready, forget about it. It will bring more dangers than what you think. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. You asked to be brief, but
I apologize.
Let us have the chairperson, the National Youth Council, to give his submission. Please.
Very short. Thank you, Right Honorable
Let short
Speaker.
be short.
We will try. So, Right Honorable Speaker, there's a question directed to me about the 21st century. And they say this is the 21st century, and we know that people, young girls now start menstruating at 9 years. I want to say, though, there are two things right there. It is the 21st century, and young girls are now known to menstruate at 9 years, even 9 years. But the two are not connected. The reason you know is because it's the 21st century. But they did not start in the 21st century. What the 21st century has given us is that we can now know news around the world. But those things used to happen, just that we would not have a way of knowing because there's not enough technology. So that should be clear. The last two things, I'm hoping I'm brief. The last two things are that, one, digital empowerment is using digital tools to put information in the hands and heads of young people. That is what I understand. If we are saying that you need to abstain, how do we tell you that digitally? That is digital empowerment. If we are saying you have a smartphone, how do you utilize that to access the right information? That is digital empowerment. Digital disempowerment is to have a smartphone and say, instead of finding out what I need to learn, I find out what I should not be learning. Because in the 21st century, you have everything in the palm of your hands. This phone right now can tell me who is winning the war between Ukraine and Russia. It can tell me what the president said this morning. It can even tell me at the same time what Parliament is discussing about the national budget. But it can also tell me whether Cristiano Ronaldo will leave tomorrow. It can also tell me whether Alien Skin has released a new song. I simply choose what it tells me. So digital empowerment is knowing how to utilize digital tools. As I conclude, Right Honorable Speaker, the final point I want to make. When you're watching TV, I don't know if you notice it,
When they say parent PG-13, do you know what that means? It means that we are guiding parents that if you have a 13-year-old and below, they should not watch this program. Some of us think that is just an advert. There is a reason for it. And usually when you watch PG-13, there is no problem with the movie. But actually, they are saying the themes in this movie are not appropriate if someone is below 13 years of age. That is what we are saying. That at 9 years of age, even if your cycle starts then, it does not mean you should have sex because your cycle has started. No. We are saying you are experiencing growth, but what you should be having right now is information of how to manage a cycle. Not how to have sex because you're having a what? A cycle. People who have sex with anyone below 18 in Uganda are doing what we call defilement. People who are pedophiles, people who have sex with children or are sexually attracted children, globally are criminal. So if we find a pregnant 11-year-old, we don't say that therefore 11-year-olds should know about sex. No, we say who has made that 11-year-old pregnant, we first take him to prison, then we help the one person isolatedly as a special case. We don't say all children, therefore this is called pregnancy. Please go ahead. If you get pregnant, this is how you manage it. No, we handle that child. It's different if you get pregnant at 19. We don't say, please, this is how. No, we expect that at 19 we have given you enough information to know. And the plan we are sitting here for is how do we give that information at those different ages for those different circumstances. I thank you.
Madam Speaker, I request to intercept the session. The conversation is very interesting and really engaging, but we need to move on to a very important part of our program. At this particular moment of time, I am going to request us to stand up, and we are going to say the East African anthem and the national anthem in honor of our state minister who is here with us. So I request that we stand up. We are starting with the Uganda anthem first. Thank you. Thank you so much. As we take our seats, allow me welcome Dr. Penny Nalutung to welcome our state minister officially to the House.
Madam Speaker, members, honorable members of Parliament, all our young people, the youth. I think we don't have any children here, do we? No, okay. Our NGO partners, reach your hand. Mr. Magala, Honorable Commissioner. Well, you said we shouldn't call you honorable. We shall will it in the future. All ladies and gentlemen, the Commissioner for the Honorable Minister, State Minister, we welcome you. We thank you for honoring us with your presence. It means a lot to us because when you gather young people like this, they have many things to say, and I'm glad that you've had the opportunity to hear some of the things that we've had to say. And so your presence here today affirms that this is important, an important conversation, not just for them, but for the whole country. So I thank you very much for honoring us with your presence. And now I request you to address us, and hopefully the message that you have for us today will be inspiring, but also will give us more enthusiasm and more energy to continue having this discussion. I think from everything that we've had said, there are other constituencies that we have to engage as well, including including the religious institutions. So we really welcome you today, and thank you very much for your honoring us with your presence. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right Honorable Speaker, for this session, honorable members of Parliament who are here, I saw here the chairperson of the National Youth Council, and I believe he came with other members, members of the Youth Parliament, the African Country Chief for AIDS Health Foundation, representatives from ministries, departments and agencies, our commissioners and other government technocrats, representatives from the civil society organizations and private sector, especially providers of the telecommunication services, the country program director, Uganda Cares, children and youth, or the young people, the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt appreciation to the organizers of this function, especially AIDS Health Foundation, Uganda Cares, and Reach a Hand Uganda, for organizing and funding the Youth Mock Parliament, and of course for inviting Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to be part of this. We want to appreciate this. I want to take this opportunity to thank the invited guests for setting off your time to attend this event. I can't take it for granted. Thank you so much. Not forgetting my colleagues, members of Parliament, for creating time to come and listen from the youth. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank the young people, at least much as I've come in a bit late, but I want to congratulate them and thank them for that eloquency in debating, and of course, appreciate their abilities to raise critical issues on the potential of digital empowerment in delivering sexuality education and promoting informed decision-making among the youth. Today, as a Minister of Gender in charge of youth and children, of course, I'm honored to officiate this critical session of the Youth Parliament, focusing on access to sexuality education in Uganda through digital empowerment. We have gathered here to commemorate the International Day of the African Child, which we shall celebrate tomorrow, under the theme, The Rights of a Child in a Digital Environment in Uganda. This is a very essential topic that demands our attention and collective efforts to safeguard the well-being and future of our young people. This day, or the International Day of the African Child, is a mandate of Government of Uganda, being led by Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. It is a significant day for us to reflect on the measures we have taken as a country to protect our children and youth from abuse in schools, homes, online, and other forms of exploitation. Today, we choose to focus on digital rights, given the global expansion of digital technology. This aligns with the Uganda's Vision 2040, which recognizes the potential of ICT to accelerate development, create jobs, and increase productivity. In this context, we must prioritize the rights of young people who form the majority and are most vulnerable to being left behind as the world rapidly changes around. There are some few things that I wanted us to note. One, the concept of global world. With the rapid generation of information and supersonic dissemination of the information is taking place in every microsecond using the digital equipment. Secondly, while digital use by the young people to empower them to take informed decisions on sexuality matters, it may be okay. It needs to be promoted in the context of the existing law and the policy frameworks, and above all, within the cherished culture, values, and norms and practices of Uganda. That there is a cultural terrorism, imperialism, and colonization being promoted using the digitalization of information and splashed in the global world. Young people are deliberately being targeted through digital communication for promotion of some negative practices that erode our society values. Negative foreign influence, breakdown of family system, inadequate local cultural content in education curriculum, collapse of the socialization function of the family. That one, you know, everybody reaches at home, everybody is on the phone. Even now I'm talking, people are busy on the phone, those who have phones. So that thing has really disorganized. Who is not on WhatsApp, another one is on Twitter, another on Instagram, another. So it has really put us apart. The other fire, we used to sit together when we were growing up and we tell stories as a family, come together as a family. It has been eroded off. And now, who is teaching our children? Who is teaching our youth? If it is not the maid, it is the shamba boy. If it is not the shamba boy, I'll get the information from the phone, because we have left the phones for the children to do whatever they want. So with the families, whatever we do, I have always told people wherever I go, you want to fight HIV? Start with the family. How can we bring back the family? You want to fight things to do with defilement? Any government projects that we are bringing, you're going to bring a lot of money, PDM is coming, but before the families are stabilized, we are wasting time. So everything we are addressing should come to family. Inadequate local cultural content in education curriculum, collapse of socialization that I have already talked about of the family, urbanization have seriously brought a lot of torture of the young people in the current challenging world of digital era. If you look at our constitution, under various objectives and chapters 4, Article 31, and Articles 33, 6, and 37, and Chapter 16, Article 246, address the importance of culture in the lives of the citizens and the need of the state to protect the family institution. Some of the things that we need to observe. Information to the young people, and indeed society in general, should be relayed on the basis of the need to know. In this context, the government of Uganda strictly emphasizes the age-appropriate messaging. Now, when my chairperson was talking about that advert, they put PG what? How many of our parents know that those things exist? Eh? Question is, what should and should not be told to the young people? Who is better placed to deliver this information and when? Secondly, matters of sexuality education must be governed by the above principles. We must know the boundaries, lest we do more harm than good to our young population. The subject should be handled at the family, school, and community level. One of the cautions, while we use the digitalization to empower young people, is being promoted. The content needs to be relevant and informed by the cherished values and needs and practices of the people of Uganda. Young people need to be very careful not to get excited with, with accessing and consuming information that is provided in the digital world. I need to inform you that Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development is presently undertaking consultations with the religious leaders. I had someone saying that we shouldn't leave it to the religious leaders only, but we are consulting them and cultural institutions on matters of sexuality education for out-of-school children. The consultation will bring out very useful ideas, which some we have already got, and which we intend to protect our children in line with our traditional and cultural values. This is important for acceptability and sustainability of our interventions. The ministry is already providing guided empowerment to young people through our digital means, through Sauti 116, Uganda Child Helpline, and GBV toll-free helpline. We have the SafePal, among others. The ministry has also developed the Youth Connect Uganda portal as a platform for sharing information and interaction among young people and between the young people and the ministry. As I go to conclude, I conclude, I want to emphasize that we should strive to ensure access to sexuality education, and we must embrace it in our digital platforms where necessary. Technology can be a powerful tool for reaching a wider audience. It can also bring down barriers and fostering inclusive and interactive learning experiences. So, one of the things I want to commit as government is that we are committed as Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to take up critical ideas raised in your debate for further high-level consideration at the policy level. We also commit as a ministry to work with relevant partners, including AIDS Healthcare Foundation, Uganda Cares, and Reach Out a Hand Uganda, to promote the well-being of the vulnerable population in Uganda. Once again, I want to appreciate the partners for organizing this Youth Mock Parliament as one of the activities to mark the commemoration of the Day of the African Child 2023. I want to congratulate the young people who have participated in the debate for effectively exercising their minds and brains to powerfully and effectively give out their ideas. Thank you for delivering your ideas simply and clearly on the topic of debate. I implore them to keep up the spirit. You never know, tomorrow this one will be the Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda. That's how things start. You keep up the spirit of the debate so that you make even much more research so that next time you broaden your debate and of course your knowledge base and abilities to express yourselves with confidence. This is how you will become very active participants in contributing to the national development in line with the national child policy and youth policy. Before I wind up, I met some youth during COVID, and they will tell me, do you know, in the local language, for us, we no longer fear AIDS. What we are fearing is COVID. And I think if you look at your statistics during that time, I think the numbers must have increased, especially among the young people. With the teenage pregnancies that we got, the early marriages that we got during that time, I believe most of them did not have time to go and test. They would just go and do whatever they were doing. And now when it came to the young children, they didn't know that there are some children who are born HIV. So you just go wholesale, no protection, nothing. So I imagine those who are in that health care of providing ARVs, you can give us the statistics. But as the information I got, most of our youth got infected, most of our children got infected during that lockdown, which is very, very sad. And we pray that this does not happen again. I want to thank you once again for listening to me and invite you to participate at the climax of our national commemoration of the Day of the African Child tomorrow, 16th June 2023, for God and my country. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the State Minister for Youth and Children's Affairs. And allow me inform you that it is not in order for you, the honorables, to speak after the chief guest or the State Minister has addressed us. So allow me thank the honorable members of Parliament present. Please, thank you for coming. Hopefully you've picked something from what the young people had to say, and I believe the young people too have picked something from what you had to say. We are going to have a group photo with the State Minister, and allow me request the clerk to present to me the key issues debated today. Could you please forward them?
Can we have order in the house? Thank you.
Below are the key points that have been presented in today's debate. One, we should use appropriate information while giving or providing information to young people which is age appropriate. Two, the Ministry of Gender has come up with hotline for young people, with a hotline for young people which is toll-free 116. Yes, we have the ministry has come up with guidelines for youth programs in schools, and soon they are going to launch the guidelines for those out of school. Computer Misuse Act was passed, and the family policy will also be developed. So the above stated points were the key points that were debated in today's debate. And at this point, allow me invite Trevor. Thank you.
Our honorable parliamentarians, the youth parliamentarians, our members of, they mentioned the adult parliament, our state minister, our assistant commissioner, we are so glad that we've had this very participative and engaging parliament today. I must count this as a success from young people in challenging and raising our voices and having such a very organized conversation with our parliamentarians. Please give yourselves a very wonderful hand clap for that. I must say our conversation and dialogue has been very interactive, and the young people have spoken, and that's the authentic voice of young people. As we listen, that is the representation of what we have back in our communities, and the young people have spoken in the same voice as the ones we've left behind. So we are coming to the close of this event. I'm communicating that we are going to have a group photo with our state minister at the end of this ceremony. We are going to have it at the third floor. So we are all requested to arrange ourselves and make it there after we've finished with this, so we can have a very wonderful, memorable moment with our very wonderful guests with us. We've discussed a lot of very pertinent issues, and our parliamentarians have made commitments, and we are very glad that we've had all the different commitments that have been risen. One very important thing that was raised was that the National Parliament is even willing to host us and have a session with the young people and have a very organized, discussion in the Parliament. I think that was very outstanding, and it shows that this is not a one-off, and it is something that is continuous. We also really appreciate our national parliamentarians for engaging with young people on a very deeper level and really helping us understand the issue from the level of the decision makers. I hope at this point we are very convinced as young people about the state of SE in the country and digital empowerment. We've listened to statistics, we've listened to research, and so we look forward to having even more engagements of this nature. So as we get to the close of this ceremony, I'm going to invite Mr. Jacob Beyeru to give a remark from our parliamentarians so that we can give. Okay, please. A vote of thanks from us. I would like to say that as Uganda Cares, Reach a Hand Uganda, and Mengo Youth Development Link, together with the young people that have come as advocates, we are very appreciative of your presence, Madam, to have this very wonderful time with us. We know that in the midst of programs that you had, you were still able to commit time to meet the young people. Your presence here has been very productive and meaningful for us, and all the conversations that we have had are going to contribute to something bigger. We also look forward as young people to being more capacitated to encourage others to also have these kinds of dialogues. So as young people, we can be able to contribute to legislative processes of this nature. As we close, we are very appreciative of everyone who has made it and everyone who has participated. We look forward to more engagements. We request that this is not a one-off. So at this point, that is our vote of thanks as young people. Yes. So we are having anthems to close. Okay. East Africa, then Uganda. I have been reliably informed about how we close our sessions. And as young people, I believe even we've been getting insights from our parliamentarians on the order of how parliament is conducted. And we are learning how national business is meant to be conducted as young people. And we are glad to have this opportunity to learn firsthand from the parliamentarians. So we are very grateful for that. So I have been informed that we are going to have we are going to have anthems in reverse order, starting with the East African anthem and then the national anthem. So I request that we stand up and have that conclusive ceremony. Thank you so much. We can all now proceed to third floor, the open area.